corrosion takes place, and explained by your friends yesterday with a very good pictorial presentation. That was all the recapitulation of the topic. Okay, how corrosion takes place. Fine. After understanding that, what is very important for us is to how to stop the metals from corrosion. Okay, how to stop metals from corrosion? Many methods are there. Very commonly studied methods are, okay, well proper designing of the equipment, cathodic protection, and surface coatings are the major methods of corrosion control. Okay, ఏం చెప్పాను? కరోషన్ అర్థమైన తర్వాత కరోషన్ అంటే ఏంటి, అది ఎన్ని టైప్స్ ఇంటూ డ్రై కరోషన్, వెట్ కరోషన్. ఓకే, ఇవంతా చదివేసిన తర్వాత మనము కరోషన్ ని ఎలా ఆపాలి అనే టాపిక్ ని 3 మేజర్ సబ్ హెడ్స్ లో చదువుతాం. చాలా మెథడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, బట్ 3 ఆర్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఫస్ట్ ఏంటి? ప్రాపర్ డిజైనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఎక్విప్మెంట్. సెకండ్ ఏంటి? cathodic protection. Third one, surface coatings. Okay, ఈ 3 sub heads లో చదువుకుంటాం. Okay, first thing, and proper designing of the equipment. The designing of the equipment should be such that it should minimize the corrosion. How? Mostly single metal has to be used. Usage of more than one metal should always be minimized. Okay, by chance 2 metals are being used. Okay, their position in the galvanic series should be very less to minimize the rate of corrosion. To avoid differential aeration corrosion, we need to see to it that the metal which is fabricated into the final shape should be such placed that the area of contact between 2 different surfaces should be maintained. Means the metal should be placed in a single environment rather than 2 environments. That means we should give sufficient aeration in such a way that there is no formation of oxygen concentration cells. And hence is all the discussion about the corrosion control using proper designing of the equipment. But what is there in your syllabus is cathodic protection. Okay, cathodic protection is protecting the metal, making it as a cathode. In corrosion control, we need to memorize few keywords. Now, what are those keywords? The metal to be protected is always called as base metal. Okay, the metal to be protected is always called as base metal, and that base metal should always be made cathode. Okay, how the base metal is made cathode? Either by connecting it to an anodic metal or by connecting it to the cathode of a DC power supply. As we all know that the area which undergoes corrosion is anode, and the entire metal where there is no corrosion is nothing but cathode. Okay, so as soon as you are making your base metal as cathode, you are protecting the metal not undergoing corrosion. Okay, this is done by 2 ways: by connecting the base metal to an anodic metal, which is nothing but sacrificial anodic corrosion, or by connecting the base metal to the cathode of a DC power supply. In either of the cases, the base metal is protected and hence corrosion is avoided. When I'm talking about the cathodic protection, the keyword there is that the base metal is connected with the help of a wire or a metallic any suspension, so that the base metal is connected to the protecting metal or material. ఏం చెప్తున్నా? కరోషన్ కంట్రోల్ లో సెకండ్ టాపిక్ చెప్తున్నా, cathodic protection. చాలా ఫాండ్ ఆఫ్టర్ క్వశ్చన్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ లో. ఓకే, క్యాథోడిక్ ప్రొటెక్షన్ ఎందుకు అంటున్నానంటే నాకు తెలుసు ఏదైతే ప్యూర్ మెటల్ ఉందో, ఏదైతే కరోడ్ అవ్వని మెటల్ ఉందో అదంతా క్యాథోడ్. ఎక్కడైతే కరోషన్ అవుతుందో అది యానోడ్. సో నేను ఎప్పుడు ఏం అర్థం చేసుకోవచ్చు అంటే నేను ఏ మెటల్ అయితే ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేయాలనుకున్నానో అది క్యాథోడ్ అయితే ఆ మెటల్ ఎప్పుడు ప్రొటెక్టెడ్ ఉంటుంది, కరోడ్ అవ్వదు. సరే, ఏ మెటల్ ని నేను ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నానో ఆ మెటల్ ని నేను ఏ టర్మ్ యూస్ చేసి చెప్తాను, బేస్ మెటల్ అంటారు. బేస్ మెటల్ అంటే మెటల్ ఆఫ్ ది ఎక్విప్మెంట్ ఆర్ ద మెటల్ విచ్ ఐ వాంట్ టు ప్రొటెక్ట్. సరే, ఆ బేస్ మెటల్ ఇప్పుడు మనకి క్యాథోడ్ అయితే అది కరోషన్ అవ్వదు. క్యాథోడ్ ఎలా అవుతుంది? రెండు విధాలుగా అవుతుంది. ఎలాగా? ఏదైతే బేస్ మెటల్ ఉందో దానిని ఒక వైర్ ఆర్ సస్పెన్షన్ పెట్టి యానోడిక్ మెటల్ తో దాన్ని క్లబ్ చేస్తా. అంటే ఏంటి? ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐరన్ ఉందంటే జింక్ తో కంబైన్ చేస్తాను. ఎందుకు? నాకు తెలుసు గాల్వానిక్ సిరీస్ లో ఐరన్ కింద ఉంటుంది, జింక్ పైన ఉంటుంది. దాని కరోషన్ పొటెన్షియల్ జింక్ ది ఎక్కువ ఐరన్ కన్నా. ఓకే, అందుకని ఏం చేస్తాను, ఐరన్ మెటల్ తీసుకున్నప్పుడు జింక్ తో కనెక్ట్ చేస్తా లేదా మెగ్నీషియం తో కనెక్ట్ చేస్తా. సరే, అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? మెగ్నీషియం అండ్ జింక్ అండర్గో కరోషన్ protecting the base metal. Okay, and they undergo corrosion sacrificially. Okay, and they act as anode, and hence this type of corrosion is called as sacrificial anodic corrosion, which means what? The anode undergoes corrosion sacrificially, protecting the base metal which is made cathode. That's what exactly I explained, taking the example of ship sailing in sea waters. Okay, they undergo waterline corrosion and they are protected by placing zinc plates in such a way that the body of the ship is made up of iron, and that iron, which is the base metal, is protected from corrosion, not undergoing corrosion, by connecting it to zinc. Here, zinc is the protecting metal which acts as anode and undergoes corrosion sacrificially. Ante emotundi pratisari the zinc plate quickly diminishes in size and fresh zinc plate has to be placed. So this type of corrosion protection is called as sacrificial anodic corrosion. Okay, there's another one called as the impressed current cathodic protection. In impressed current cathodic protection, as I've already told with you, I'll take a battery, okay, DC power supply, and I'll connect my base metal to the cathode of the battery. So how much should be the EMF of the battery? Little more than the corrosion potential. Okay, and what you will realize that at anode you can take a corroding metal like zinc or magnesium, or generally what is done is they'll take a carbon or a graphite rod placed in a backfill which is made up of gypsum boards. Okay, that means the outer box is made up of gypsum and they'll place the graphite rod as anode. That means it only facilitates the movement of electrons. And graphite, I already told with you, platinum or graphite are inert electrodes. That means they do not participate in the electrochemical reaction. Okay, and they are taken as anode. Okay, and at cathode, the base metal is chosen. Okay, and of course, the base metal does not undergo corrosion till that time, till the battery gives the EMF. As soon as the battery is exhausted, we'll place the new battery and avoid corrosion. This is impressed current cathodic protection because I'm passing current and stopping corrosion to happen. So which current I'm passing? DC power supply I'm passing, and I'm using a battery as a DC power supply. So when I'm representing the battery, I'll represent the battery with a thick and a thin line. I'll connect the base metal to the thick line, that is the cathode, and I'll do the protection. Impressed current cathodic protection. Any one question is a mandatory question in your mid or final exam. Hope you have understood all these things clearly. Okay, very, very important. So the keyword is the base metal is connected. Okay, and now we'll discuss with the last type of corrosion control, that is surface coatings. Again, what are surface coatings? I've told you. Surface coatings are nothing but the base metal is covered or coated with the protecting metal or material. Okay, just like the paint on our grills. Okay, the paint is a surface coating, which is categorized as organic coating. Okay, organic coating of the board is clear to you all. Okay, so what I'm saying now, after cathodic protection, the next topic which is there in your syllabus is surface coatings. That means I'm coating the base metal with the protecting material. Okay, why it is called surface coating? Because the base metal is covered. There's the word you need to see. It is covered with the protecting material. Okay, if I'm using paint for our grills, the covering material is an organic coating. Okay, no, it could be a metal on the metal. Okay, just like the iron is covered with zinc coating. Okay, that means iron is a metal which is covered by another metal which is zinc. Okay, if zinc is used as a coat metal, okay, it is called as galvanization. Okay, and because metal is coated on the metal, the coating is metallic coating. Okay, so is the discussion. Next, inorganic coatings. Now, what are these inorganic coatings? I already told with you all that when you just go around, particularly where these mechanical works are done, our store wells, generally Godrej store well, of course, there you can't see it, but otherwise Birwalu store wells, how our color of choice is painted. First they paint it brown. Okay, then they'll put the base color, which color you want. Okay, the first coat is they'll say in our coating also, they'll say I'll put a primer coat, means the coat which makes the paint to stick onto it. Okay, like that on store wells and all, what they do, they'll put aluminum oxide, okay, or nickel chromium oxides as a base coat. Okay, what they do, aluminum oxide, as all of us know that it is a stable impervious coat material. Okay, because the material is inorganic in nature, the surface coating is categorized under inorganic coatings. Okay, so which is the coat metal, accordingly the surface coatings are categorized. ఏం చెప్పాను, ఇప్పుడు బేస్ మెటల్ ఏదైతే ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేస్తాం అనుకున్నానో దానిని వేరే మెటీరియల్ తో కవర్ చేసేస్తే దానిని సర్ఫేస్ కోటింగ్ అంటారు. అదే క్యాథోడిక్ ప్రొటెక్షన్ లో కవర్ చేయం, కనెక్ట్ చేస్తాం అంతే. సరే, ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఆ సర్ఫేస్ కోటింగ్ ఏదవ్వచ్చు, ఒక మెటల్ అవ్వచ్చు, అంటే మెటల్ మీద మెటల్ వేయచ్చు, లేదా మెటల్ మీద ఇన్ఆర్గానిక్ మెటీరియల్ ని వేయచ్చు, కవర్ చేయొచ్చు, లేదా ఆర్గానిక్ పెయింట్స్ లాంటివి వేసి కవర్ చేయొచ్చు, అండ్ హెన్స్ సర్ఫేస్ కోటింగ్స్. Okay, what you have in your syllabus is metal coating. And how the metal is coated on another metal. Okay, so how this metallic coatings, the next dot, fourth one is how the metal coating is done. So in metallic coatings are done by many methods. The famous methods, coating methods are, first one is hot dipping. First one is hot dipping. And the famous examples are galvanizing and tinning. Please write the flow chart. Zinc is coat metal. And tinning. Tin is the coat metal. Okay. Next one, hot dipping. Next one is metal electroplating. Or electroless plating. Electroplating or electroless plating. Next, metal clouding. Kids, hope you are able to see the board clearly. Please do write the classification very, very clearly in your book. Okay. The one you can say metal spraying. Etc. Please write this classification and we shall go ahead with the discussion. Okay, interesting. Okay. Now I'll start explaining. Okay. Uh, so what I'm now explaining to you all about the third corrosion control method, that is surface coatings, in which I am focusing on the metal coating methods. Okay. Hope just now we have discussed the coating materials can be metallic, inorganic or organic in nature. What you have in your syllabus is metallic coatings. That means the base metal is covered by another metal which is protecting metal. Okay. Now, how this metal is coated or placed on my base metal, okay, it could be using hot dipping method. Hot dipping method, as name is telling you all, okay. What you are seeing, that I'll take the base metal which I want to protect and I'll dip it in the coat metal. Okay, the coat metal will be as if they'll show in TV advertisements, just like they'll put one biscuit inside the uh, chocolate or something like that. Okay, or if you by chance you're right eating ice creams with vanilla inside and the top one is a chocolate ice cream. Okay, covering. Okay, just like that, the base metal is placed inside and my coat metal is covering the base metal. Okay, so first thing, they'll dip it. Okay, what is the first precaution that we should take? That the base metal melting point should be much higher than the coat metal. If not, what will happen? As soon as you dip your base metal inside the coat metal, you will not see anything. It would form an alloy instead. What will happen? It quickly gets dissolved and it will form an alloy. So what you need to do when you're doing hot dipping process, when hot dipping process is done, you should dip the base metal in the coat metal. One precaution has to be taken. What you should see? You should check that the coat metal melting point should be less than the base metal, or the base metal melting point should be much higher than the coat metal. Okay, so the hot dipping process, and in this hot dipping process, two major types of hot dipping is done. Okay, with respect to iron. Okay, iron is coated with zinc or sometimes with tin. Okay, what you are realizing is that if iron is dipped in zinc, okay, the process is called as galvanization. So what is galvanization? Coating zinc as the protecting metal. Okay, and what you'll realize here is that if iron is the base metal, zinc is anodic metal. Therefore, the protection by this method is perfect. Because anodic metal is the coat metal, the type of coating is called as anodic coating. Okay, but there's one more type of coating called as tinning. As the name tells, iron, which is the base metal, is coated with tin as the protecting metal. Okay, what you will realize is that tin is cathodic to iron. Then what is the problem? Actually, iron undergoes faster corrosion if by chance this tin layer suffers any damage by pitting corrosion process. Then you should ask me a question: why in such cases I'm coating iron with tin in spite of knowing that it is okay. So then you'll ask me a question: why tinning then? It's nonsense, is it not? But is it not a common experience that we drink Coke in tinned Coke, okay, and you have all the other beverages, okay, which are tinned. You'll have large supplies of food, particularly marine food, getting transported from one country to the another. Okay, and the containers that carry are tinned food, you will say, okay, which is very common in the West. Why this tinning is done on iron in spite of knowing that it is cathodic material and it is more dangerous to coat the iron with tin? Because tin is benign. It does not produce any harmful reactions with the food, which are stored inside those containers. Okay, that I can't do it with zinc, because zinc is dangerous material and it affects health, and also it reacts with the food that is being stored in it. We can't store food in zinc containers. Okay, that means I can't store food in galvanized iron containers, but tinned iron containers I can store food and I can use it for transportation, and hence I'll do the tinning process. Okay, but because tin is cathodic to iron, it is called as cathodic coating. Okay, and hence is the discussion. Okay, ఏం చెప్పాను ఇప్పుడు సర్ఫేస్ కోటింగ్స్ కదా నేను చెప్పేది. సో ఏం చేస్తున్నాను, ఏదైతే మెటల్ ని నేను ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేయాలనుకున్నానో దాన్ని బేస్ మెటల్ అంటాను, దాని మీద వేరే మెటల్ ని కోట్ చేస్తున్నాను. సరే, ఆ వేరే మెటల్ ఎలా ఎలా ప్లేస్ చేస్తాను మన బేస్ మెటల్ మీద అంటే ఈ మెథడ్స్ అన్నిటి నుంచి నేను చేయగలను. ఫస్ట్ అండ్ మోస్ట్ ఫేమస్ మెథడ్ ఏం చేయొచ్చు అంటే సింపుల్ గా హాట్ డిప్పింగ్ మెథడ్. మనం చాక్లెట్ తిన్నట్టే, లోపల క్యాడ్బరీ చాక్లెట్ ఉంది, పైన మంచి వేఫర్ కవర్ చేసి పెట్టాం. సరే, ఆ వైఫరే మన కోట్ మెటల్, లోపల చాక్లెట్ మన బేస్ మెటల్. ఓకే, సో సింపుల్ మెథడ్ ఏంటి, మన బేస్ మెటల్ ని తీసుకుని ఏదైతే మెటల్ లో నేను కోట్ చేద్దాం అనుకున్నానో దానిలో డిప్ చేసేయటమే. ఒకటే ప్రికాషన్ చూసుకోవాలి ఏంటి, దాని మెల్టింగ్ పాయింట్ కోట్ మెటల్ ది తక్కువ ఉండాలి. ఎక్కువ ఉందనుకో అదేమో హాట్ గా ఉంటుంది, ఇదేమో దీన్ని వేసామనుకో సడన్ గా ఏమవుతుంది, బయటకు తీస్తే ఏం ఉండదు. ఎందుకు, అది డిజాల్వ్ అయిపోతుంది కాబట్టి. డిజాల్వ్ అయ్యి ఏం కాదు, ఎల్లాయ్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది, అది వేస్ట్ మనకి. సో ఏం చేయాలి, హాట్ డిప్పింగ్ లో ఎప్పుడు గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సింది ఏంటంటే కోట్ మెటల్ మెల్టింగ్ పాయింట్ తక్కువ ఉండాలి బేస్ మెటల్ కన్నా. సరే, సో నేను రెండు ఫేమస్ కోటింగ్ మెథడ్స్ ని ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తున్నాను నీకు. ఒకటి ఏంటి, గాల్వనైజింగ్ అని చెప్తున్నాను, ఒకటి టిన్నింగ్ అని చెప్తున్నాను. ఓకే, గాల్వనైజేషన్ యానోడిక్ కోటింగ్ అని చెప్తాను, టిన్నింగ్ క్యాథోడిక్ కోటింగ్ అని చెప్తాను. సరే, గాల్వనైజింగ్ అంటే ఏంటి, బేస్ మెటల్ ని నువ్వు జింక్ తో కోట్ చేస్తే గాల్వనైజింగ్, లేదు బేస్ మెటల్ ని నువ్వు టిన్ తో కోట్ చేస్తే దానిని టిన్నింగ్ అంటాం. సరే, అయితే సరే, ఇప్పుడు అయర్న్ బేస్ మెటల్ కింద తీసుకుని నువ్వు జింక్ ని కోట్ చేసావనుకో, ఏంటి, అయర్న్ కి జింక్ యానోడిక్ మెటీరియల్. ఓకే, సో ఏమవుతుంది, అటు అయర్న్ క్యాథోడిక్ మెటీరియల్ కాబట్టి అది కరోడ్ అవ్వదు, పైన ఉన్న జింక్ ఏదైతే యానోడిక్ మెటీరియల్ ఉందో అది కరోడ్ అవుతుంది. బెస్ట్ జిఐ పైప్స్ అని అంటూ ఉంటారు. మీరు ఎవరన్నా ఇల్లు కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ చేసుకుంటున్నా ఎప్పుడన్నా వెళ్ళినప్పుడు జిఐ పైప్స్ అంటారు, అంటే గాల్వనైజ్డ్ ఐరన్ పైప్స్ అని దానికి కోడ్ నేమ్. ఓకే, హెచ్డిపి పైప్స్ అంటే హై డెన్సిటీ పాలీ ఎథిలీన్ పైప్స్, అది ప్లాస్టిక్ వి. అదే మీరు ఐరన్ వి తీసుకున్నారు అనుకోండి పైప్స్, జిఐ పైప్స్ అంటారు, అంటే గాల్వనైజ్డ్ ఐరన్ పైప్స్. ఏం వాట్ యూ షుడ్ రిమెంబర్, మనకి బాగా షైన్ అయ్యే స్టీల్ లాంటిది మన రేలింగ్ పెట్టించుకుంటూ ఉంటాం, అవునా, అనంత స్టీలా కాదు, పిచ్చి ఎక్స్పెన్సివ్ స్టీల్ అయితే, అవన్నీ జిఐ పైప్సే, ఆ ఫినిష్ లో చేస్తారు. సరే, అది గాల్వనైజింగ్, బానే ఉంది. నెక్స్ట్ టిన్నింగ్, అంటే బేస్ మెటల్ మీద టిన్ని కోట్ చేస్తాం. ఇప్పుడు నేను బేస్ మెటల్ అయన్ అనుకున్నాను, ఓకే, దాని మీద నువ్వు టిన్ని కోట్ చేసావు. కానీ ఒకటి రియలైజ్ అవ్వాలి, నువ్వేంటి, అయన్ కి టిన్ క్యాథోడ్, అందుకనే దానిని క్యాథోడిక్ కోటింగ్ అంటాం. సరే, అయితే సరే, ఇప్పుడు ఎందుకు అసలు అయన్ మీద నువ్వు టిన్ని కోట్ చేయాలి, అది క్యాథోడిక్ అయ్యి అది ఇంకా మోర్ కరోడ్ చేస్తుంది కదా, ఏదైతే అయన్ మన మెటీరియల్ ఒక్కసారి వీఆర్ ఫోర్స్డ్ టు డూ ఇట్. ఎందుకు అంటే ఫుడ్ ఐటమ్స్ ఏవైతే స్టోర్ చేస్తామో, ఓకే, అవన్నీను టిన్నింగ్ మెటీరియల్ అయితేనే బెస్ట్. ఎందుకంటే టిన్ ఈస్ బినైన్, ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ రియాక్ట్ విత్ ఇట్ అండ్ ద ఫుడ్ కెన్ బి సేఫ్లీ స్టోర్డ్ ఇన్ దోస్ కంటైనర్స్. అందుకనే టిండ్ కోక్స్ కానీ టిండ్ బివరేజెస్ అన్ని మీకు దొరుకుతాయి బయట. సరే, ఈవెన్ హ్యూజ్ ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్, మర్చెంట్ నేవీ షిప్స్ క్యారింగ్ హ్యూజ్ ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ are done in tinned cans, okay, but not in the zinc galvanized things. Okay, so is the discussion. So galvanizing is anodic coating and tinning is the cathodic coating to iron. Okay, and this is very important. Galvanizing procedure and method is there in your syllabus, which I'll explain it in another 2 minutes time. Okay, the next very commonly known one is electroplating. This is a good old example you might be studying from your 10th class. Okay, what you will realize that the metal to be coated, that is our base metal, should be made cathode. Okay, the anode can be inert material or it can be coat material. One thing should be very clear in our head, the electrolyte should contain the coat material. Okay, like the 1 gram gold jewelry. Okay, what it has, the copper is made into cathode. Okay, and if you want to coat, for example, gold, then Aurum chloride might be the electrolyte. Anode could be either graphite or it could be again gold. Okay. Now what you will do, as soon as you pass current, the pot metal slowly gets incorporated on the base metal. Base metal is always cathode, and hence the electroplating process. Okay. Our 1 gram gold jewelry is all electroplated. Okay. Very best example. Now, the other one is electroless plating. This is important for all ECE students. Why? You'll be doing PCB designing and all. You'll be working with PCB, that is circuit boards. Okay. There, you will be etching metal on the plastic. Now, it is a plastic board and you want to incorporate metal on plastic. How is it possible? Plastic, we know, is not a conductor of electricity. Is it not? Now, how to etch the copper or nickel on those plastic materials? How is it possible? The type of incorporation of the metal on the non-conducting materials like glass or plastic is done by a method called as electroless plating. What they would do? They'll take one electrolyte. Okay, the electrolyte has the metal which I want to incorporate on that non-conducting material, that is plastic or glass. Then what I will do? I'll add reducing agents. Okay, what reducing agents will do? They'll reduce the metal and they incorporate the metal on that non-conducting material. This type of coating the non-conducting materials with conducting materials like nickel, copper, etc. Okay, using reducing agents is called as electroless plating. Okay, what's the difference between electroplating and electroless plating? In electroplating, I'll pass electricity and I'll keep my base metal as cathode. Okay, whereas in electroless plating, which is very important when you want to coat the metals on glass or plastic, that is your circuit board, what you need to see that the coat metal should be taken as an electrolyte, and to that electrolytic solution you need to add reducing agents. The reducing agents will deposit the metal on the non-conducting materials. Okay, electroless plating. Next one is metal cladding. This is very, very important in the case of making the bodies of aerospace industry. Okay, where aluminum is the most commonly used material. Now, what they'll do? They'll take the aluminum and they'll pass two aluminum sheets with the base material in the middle, like just like the way we are making sandwiches. Okay, so the coat material is on either side of the base metal. Okay, and what they do? They'll make sandwich out of it. Aluminum, and the base metal, and they'll pass this trilaminar structure through rollers which are placed at high pressure and temperature. That means the rollers will crush the coat metal on the base metal in such a way that they get stuck. Okay, the type of protection is called as metal cladding. In metal cladding, what is done? We are making laminar sandwiches in which in the middle I have my base metal, on either of the sides I have the coat metal. Eclard is a commonly made composite which is very commonly used in aerospace industry. Okay, and hence is the discussion. Okay, the last one is metal spray. Just now I've been telling with you that I'll simply spray the base metal with the coat metal. That's it. And hence is the discussion on metallic coatings. Adhamaindi kada? You join at 93. You join now. What's the topic I was discussing? Roll number 93. Good morning. Huh? what I was talking, discussing to you with you all.
Ma'am, I have net problem, ma'am, so I have joined now.
Okay. But you missed the class. Okay. Okay, then I'll get back. So what is there in your syllabus is the hot dipping method, galvanization. Okay. And I'll discuss the procedure of galvanization. Before that, you need to write two major points. Did you take this classification, by the way? Hope you understood the headings on there. Hot dipping, which is galvanizing and tinning. Galvanizing is anodic coating and tinning is the cathodic coating on the base metal iron. Okay, that difference we are going to write right now. Now the next one is electroplating, where the base metal is coated with the protecting metal by passing current. Whereas in electrolysis plating, the base metal is coated with the protecting metal by dipping the base metal in an electrolyte and adding reducing agents to them. Usually this type of metal coating is done in the case where the base material is non-conducting material like glass or plastic. Okay, very commonly adopted. It could be done on metals as well, but exclusively for the non-conducting materials. Metal cladding is sandwiching the base metal with the coat materials, okay, where you will be passing the sandwich lamellar structures through rollers which are placed at high temperature and under pressure. Metal spraying is a common type where the base metal is just sprayed with the coat material or metal. Okay. Now write the heading. Next one, anodic coatings and cathodic coatings. Write few differences and we'll go ahead with galvanizing process. Okay. So the heading is differences between anodic coatings and cathodic coatings. Right. It's all differences between anodic and cathodic coatings. So on one side write as anodic coating, another one write cathode. And please few points there. You have notes on hand, but a few important browsing points before your examination. So what does the name tell? Right. Anodic coating. Coat metal is anodic to base metal. Coat metal is anodic to base metal. In cathodic coating, coat metal is cathodic to base metal. When I say coat metal, it is the protecting metal. Okay. That's the first point. What's the second point? In anodic coating, you'll write the coat metal undergoes corrosion. Coat metal undergoes corrosion. Protecting the base metal. Coat metal undergoes corrosion. Okay. In cathodic coating, what you would write? Base metal suffers corrosion. Base metal suffers corrosion in case of damage to coat metal. Base metal suffers corrosion in case coat metal suffers damage. What's the third point for an anodic coating? No corrosion of base metal. No corrosion of base metal. In cathodic coating, very high fitting corrosion, of the base metal. Very high fitting corrosion of the base metal. Okay. Example of anodic coating, galvanized iron. Galvanized iron. Example. I told you, always you need to conclude your table with an example. If not, you are not given complete marks. Okay. What do you say? Example. Galvanized iron. They are called GI. Galvanized iron. GI pipes are very common in plumbing. Cathodic coating, example, tinned iron. Tinned iron. Okay. We'll use those tin cans. Why we are using? Because they are benign. Tin is benign for us and it will not cause any problem when used for storage of food. Okay. The tin cans, Coke, and you can talk of other beverages as well. Okay. And right. The next heading, galvanization. Galvanization. So it's an important one. Put 2 star marks on it. Its head. It's commonly asked essay question. Many a times. Okay. So you need to know it in detail. Okay. Galvanization. ZA is also used. Galvanization. Okay. So I'll give the keywords there. Then you can understand. What's the first keyword? Very important keyword here is zinc is the fourth metal. Zinc is the fourth metal. Zinc is the fourth metal. That's the first important point we need to remember in this case. Okay. Next, the process is very easy. In galvanization, what you will do, what I've already told with you, that the base metal should have more melting point than zinc. Okay. What you will realize is that zinc metal has melting point at around 419 degrees centigrade. So the base metal should have melting point more than 420 degrees centigrade. Then zinc can be coated on with on the base metal. Okay. What they will do? They'll take the base metal and first clean it. Okay. The first cleaning is using an acid. Okay. They'll dip the base metal to be coated with dilute sulfuric acid for 15 to 20 minutes. And the bath has a temperature of 60 to 90 degrees centigrade. Okay. Then the sheet is taken out. It is washed very well with water and it is dried. Okay. Then they'll dip this base metal iron in the molten zinc bath. Now that zinc bath is maintained at 425 to 430 degrees centigrade. Okay. After that, they'll take out the metal from the zinc bath and it is passed through rollers. Okay. The rollers are maintained at a good temperature and it will not allow excess of zinc to be adhered onto the surface of the base metal, which is iron. Okay. Then iron, which is coated with zinc, is now annihilated at 650 degrees centigrade. Okay. Then you'll get galvanized iron as the end product. Okay. What you will realize here is that iron, when coated with zinc as the coat material, at the juncture, the alloy of iron and zinc are formed. Okay, but on an whole, zinc will protect the iron from undergoing corrosion. The iron you are getting is nothing but galvanized iron. Okay, so this is the first uh, procedure for galvanization. Okay, what I was trying to tell, galvanization is coating zinc on the base metal. So that's the first point. Then what I told with you, the melting point of zinc is zinc melting point is equal to 419 degrees centigrade. Okay. Therefore, coat metal, coat metal melting point should be greater than 420 degrees centigrade in galvanization. Okay, that's the next point. Now, what is the procedure? What is the procedure? The first one is base metal. Base metal is dipped in. Base metal is dipped in the bath. Base metal is dipped in the bath containing dilute H2SO4. Temperature of this bath is 60 to 90 degrees centigrade. 60 to 90 degrees centigrade. Okay. This is called, the process is called acid pickling. The process is called acid pickling. Acid pickling. Okay, that's the first one. After that, what they'll do, there's now, why this acid pickling? To remove any impurities that are present on the surface of the base metal. Okay, what it does, this removes impurities on the metallic surface. It removes impurities on the metallic surface. It removes impurities on the metallic surface. Okay. Now what's the second one? After this, they'll dip the base metal in. They'll dip the base metal in zinc bath. Okay. What's the second one? Go to that side. Hope you have written this. Important bits. Very important. Please do not miss writing this. Okay. Second point is what's the second point? Base metal is dipped in zinc bath. Base metal is dipped in zinc bath molten zinc bath. That's a more accurate. Molten zinc bath. Base metal is dipped in molten zinc bath. Molten zinc bath maintain at 420 to 23 degrees, 423 degrees centigrade. This bar, this zinc bar is covered with ammonium chloride flux, to avoid oxidation of metallic zinc. Avoid oxidation of zinc metal. Avoid oxidation of zinc metal. Okay. Third point. Base metal coated with zinc is passed through rollers at high temperature. This is done to remove excess zinc and better adhesion of the coat metal. Better adhesion of the zinc metal. Next, last one. Finally, galvanized base metal. Finally, galvanized base metal is subjected to annealing process at 650 degrees centigrade. 650 degrees centigrade. So what is annealing? Annealing is the process of slowly cooling any metal. Okay, slowly means from 650 degrees centigrade, the galvanized iron or galvanized base metal is brought to room temperature by very slow cooling process. The process of slow cooling of metal is called as annealing. Now, if you are suddenly putting them into water or any other liquid solvent under low temperature, that sudden cooling is called as quenching. Whereas annealing is very sudden cooling is quenching and slow cooling is annealing. Okay, that's about the galvanization process. Okay, very important. Okay, now you say if iron is, fifth point is, if iron is coated with zinc, it is called as galvanized iron. Galvanized iron. Okay, I think it's almost time. I'll start taking the attendance. If iron is coated with zinc, it is called as galvanized iron. Okay. Now, what are the applications? GI is used for plumbing, okay, as sheets, wires, nails, bolts, screws, railings, etc. Okay, and but what is the point to be remembered? GI is galvanized iron cannot be used for storage of food. Narasimha garu, ఒకసారి board చూచారా? Okay, please answer your attendance, and after answering your attendance, you can leave the